Well, this is different. I'm on the scaffolding of a fire lookout atop Bill Williams Mountain, looking out over northern Arizona's Kaibab National Forest, Mount Humphreys to the east, and the town of Williams just to the north. And I am not going to stand up here, but somewhere nearby, back on solid ground, to talk some anime. House of Five Leaves. House of Five Leaves is a serious period drama set in feudal Japan. It's driven by characters in story rather than by action. Masanosuke is a down-and-out ronin, unable to hold a steady job as a bodyguard. It's not because he isn't keen with a blade, though. Beset by poverty and hunger, Masa takes a job guarding a local lowlife, Yaichi. That soft-spoken gangster hired Masa without revealing that his current job was collecting a ransom for a child that he'd kidnapped, thus making Masa his accomplice. It seems that Yaichi is head of the House of Five Leaves, an informal gang of scofflaws who carefully kidnap the children of wealthy families for ransom. The rest of the gang includes a burglar, the owner of the tavern where they meet, and a former prostitute. Yaichi cleverly and slowly drags Masa into his schemes, one small step at a time. Masa is unable to resist Yaichi's plans, as he is to find an honest job as a bodyguard. Despite the Edo period setting of shogun and samurai, this isn't an action story of clashing swords. The House of Five Leaves gang are very careful who they kidnap. Yaichi only targets families who can easily afford the money and, for reasons of honor or their own shady dealings, can't report the crime. They rely on inside help and sleeping drugs for the kidnapping itself. The crime is deliberately unexciting. They'll only do a couple of these kidnappings over the course of the series' dozen episodes. Mostly the show will be about the gang's leader, Yaichi, and his relationship to Masa, and to the rest of the gang, and to his own past. As Yaichi draws Masa into his world, Yaichi can't hide all of his own very complicated, checkered history. The gang and their friends provide a collection of interesting and believable supporting characters who add pieces to that mystery. The arrival of a stranger in town who befriends Masa and asks a lot of questions about that past helps expose more pieces to that past. So, too, does the apparent return of an old partner in crime of Yaichi, who's now out for vengeance. Despite his protest that he's only in it for the money, Yaichi seems to plan his kidnappings for something more. To hear the tavern owner's daughter tell the story, the gang was formed to help her. Now, Yaichi is intent on recruiting Masa and his sword into their tribe.
マサも参加するのか。今、大宮は用心棒を探してるらしい。あいつ雇ってもらえんのかね。松が手を回してる。
松は本当役に立つね。
お、なんでマサは呼ばねえんだ。先に話したら、奴は自分の役目を引き受けないだろうからな。徐々に巻き込んでいくってことか。
House of Five Leaves drives its story with its characters and the gradual unfolding of Yaichi's past. There's very little direct action and a lot of talking. The story sometimes seemed to wander about, enjoying the lives of its characters, and there were times when I was wondering exactly what the show was going to be about. It was in no rush to get to the point, but uses those minor digressions to build strong characterizations. I found the main characters, Yaichi and Masa, interesting enough to make the show entertaining in all its meandering paths. The series concluded by revealing, at least to the audience, where Yaichi was from, how he became involved in crime, and why he still does what he does, sort of. House of Five Leaves is based on a manga by Matsumi Ono, who also inspired the very different Ristorante Paradiso anime. The distinctive look of the characters from her manga and the richness of her characters' personalities are about all those two shows have in common. The TV series was both written and directed by Tomomi Mochizuki, who directed Umigaki Kyoto with Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli a decade ago. The art designs resemble drawings on paper walls, appropriate to the period. The interior music uses string instruments that sound like a shamisen, or a solo piano using simple notes to simulate such a sound, giving it a period atmosphere. The opening and closing music is less integrated into the atmosphere. Overall, I give the House of Five Leaves 4 stars. I found it interesting storytelling with a rich cast of characters, and it delivers a solid ending with just a tiny twist that was surprisingly effective. House of Five Leaves is currently available with English subtitles streaming from Funimation in the US. Thanks for watching.
I finally found a 5-pointed leaf. I think it's poison oak.